What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of our Type 1 Talks. I'm really excited to sit down and have this conversation with Chance and Jackson. Really interestingly, I connected with you guys through Instagram and through their father, Jess. And you guys go by the High and Low Bros on Instagram. They have really awesome content. It's like day-to-day stuff as a Type 1 diabetic. But you guys are also laxers as well, and you are super athletic and super busy. So I want to start there. How did you guys come up with the name Highs and Lows Bros?
Basically, like when we started playing lacrosse and we had diabetes, it was because it's kind of hard to explain, but when we got low, we would say like he's a low bro, and when we got high, we'd say he's a high bro. So we got the name Highs and Lows Bros.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Who started calling who the other bro? Would you just do it at the same time?
Yeah, pretty much. We just did it
Yeah.
at the same time.
Okay, that's awesome. And I really want to share your story. I think it's really inspirational. I feel that it's not super common to have two brothers about a year apart, to have that shared experience. So why don't we start with both of your diagnosis stories, and whoever wants to go first can kick it off.
Okay, so basically how I got diagnosed, I was 6 years old and I was like getting really thirsty. I wasn't feeling well. And then my parents have I had a lot of weight loss and my parents started noticing something. So we went to the doctor's office and I think I got finger checked and then I was like really high, like 1,000.
Oh,
And
wow.
my mom started crying in the hospital and I didn't know what it was. And then I was in DKA for 3 days in the hospital, and I didn't know I was going to have it for my life. So when I figured out, I was like really sad.
Such a scary moment. I was diagnosed when I was 10, so you actually were a little younger than I was. But I distinctly remember being in the hospital and thinking, like, what the heck is going on? What does this mean? Definitely relate with that.
And then 8 months later, I was diagnosed at 8. My mom was scared that one of us might have it too. So she kept finger checking me. And one day she finger checked me and I was like 400. And so but I didn't have to go to the hospital because we already knew what it was. So yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you actually almost were able to diagnose at home,
Yeah.
versus go through that whole process again. Wow, that's super interesting. Okay, so I want to hear kind of like where your guys' thoughts were initially. Obviously, Chase, different story than Jackson, but like let's flash back to like that first week. What were some of those like early thoughts that you had?
Like before I was diagnosed or when?
Let's say like during the diagnosis itself.
So like after I got out of the hospital, I didn't think we would have to deal with it at home. I thought it was just like a 3-day thing at the hospital. Like
A hospital thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, we just had we didn't have like the pump or anything, so we just had to keep giving the shots and everything. And then it was really hard to manage because we didn't know like what to dose like exactly or anything like that. So it was like really hard to manage like stable blood sugar.
Yeah.
And then my first week was I was just like, since we kind of knew what it was, I was like, well, at least Chance isn't lonely anymore. So I had it. And I was just like, when I would get low, I didn't know really what to do, but Chance would help me and stuff.
So you guys actually are able to like bond off your brotherhood a little bit, in that shared experience. You mentioned starting with like pens or syringes. What do you guys use now to manage your diabetes?
We use the Omnipod 5.
And then we use the Dexcom G6.
Cool. And how has that transition been? I also use the Dexcom.
It was like really helpful because especially to the pump instead of pens, it was like really helpful because it was like way easier to manage it and we knew what to dose more. And then like it was easier to manage highs because it would tell us to dose more with the U sensor thing.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's talk a little bit about sports. When did you guys first start playing sports?
We started playing sports at like 3 something.
Oh,
and
wow. You guys are serious athletes.
Yeah, we just played golf, and then when we were diagnosed, we were still playing golf, but it was like easier to manage while playing golf because we had stuff with us and we were able to see our numbers. And then we started playing lacrosse at like 8, and it was not as easy because we didn't have it wouldn't connect as easy. We didn't have stuff with us like on the field, so it was like harder to manage.
How'd you guys find lacrosse?
We just saw something on our like community page that there was this lacrosse team opening right by us, and we wanted to try it. And then the first day we just fell in love with it, and yeah.
What positions do you guys play?
I'm a midfielder / face-off.
I started with attack for like 3 years, and then I switched to goalie for the past year.
That's a crazy switch. How's that been?
It's been actually
You
really
went
fun.
from scoring goals to now stopping the goals from getting scored.
I think it was like an easier transition because like I knew where they were gonna shoot a lot of the time because I had that, so I knew like I could predict it easier. And then the change was like really helpful with diabetes because I could like if I was low, I could just come off real quick. Not if I and I wouldn't get low. Actually, I've never experienced being low on the field when I was in goal because I'm not really running around that much.
Yeah.
So it was way easier to manage.
That's super interesting. We definitely got to connect you boys with Brett Dobson then. He's someone who's worn those shoes and done it at a pretty successful level. Okay, that's awesome to hear. Do you guys play any other types of sports? You mentioned golf. Anything else that you guys do?
Volleyball. I just tried out for my school team.
Nice. Awesome. Chance, what about you?
I don't really play any other sports right now. I've just been lacrosse.
Yeah, all in. Okay, and I'm assuming you guys had a busy summer, right? Coming off
Yeah.
of like clubs and stuff. You guys played on like travel teams or club teams or
Yeah,
something
we
like that?
played for Lions lacrosse.
And
Nice.
then before that, we played on we did free agency for a little bit. And then I played for Dallas Advance for Austin Early's team at the Denver Shootout. And
Oh,
then
awesome.
And I played for the Alcatraz Outlaws there in Denver. And then for Sandstorm, we free agented again. And I played for CP22 World Lacrosse Foundation.
mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
And I played for Tim Booth's team.
You guys have been really busy playing a lot of lacrosse.
Yeah.
Putting the diabetes hat back on, how has that been? And beyond that, just, the management for you guys. I know you guys have an amazing support system with your parents, with each other, obviously. How has that been with like teammates and coaches? How do you guys approach that conversation? Because I know it's tough. It's totally, especially if you're on a new team, you're like, oh man, like I'm worried about, am I good enough to make this team? I'm worried about what the coach is thinking about my play, but I'm also worried about what my blood sugar is, what he's going to think about that. How do you guys navigate that space?
Yeah, so when we first started playing, I like told the coach that, hey, I'm low, and he called me lazy. And so now I'm like scared to talk to people because I don't know if they're gonna call me lazy too.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, I mean, I think that's actually a really good story to share. And so thank you for sharing that. It's a real thing. And, I've played lacrosse. I'm still playing lacrosse. It's something I still worry about. Like I had a game last night. I mistimed I had like a little bit of a Gatorade before I played. At halftime, my blood sugar was skyrocketing. And I had to take a minute during that halftime and like, put my pump back in, adjust my sugars. It's a really scary thing. What are some ways that you guys have found successful or maybe still figuring out to kind of like navigate that?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out like how to navigate it since I'm like a midi. I'm always running, and it's just like harder because I'm always running. So when I come off the field, sometimes if I feel low, I'll get something and then I'll finger check.
So yeah, I think that's a good strategy to like check blood sugars during the games. Chad, any thoughts on that in terms of like how to navigate either the situation your brother's dealing with or from like a team standpoint?
So what I do to prepare?
Yeah.
What I do to prepare, I usually just do like not as much as a carby breakfast. I just do like high protein fruit, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's also a really good strategy. And again, speaking from my own experiences, my best performances are when my blood sugars are steady and I'm able to maintain that through a higher protein, maybe a little bit of fat in there as well. So something like maybe like toast with almond butter and like some eggs or something like that. And I'm a big coffee drinker, so that's usually like my pregame meal. What about like integrating into a team and either telling your teammates and kind of navigating that space? Because that can be scary too.
Like after that experience, I got like scared to talk to coaches mainly. But now coaches coaches that I have now are like more understanding, and teammates are like nice about it and like want to learn more about it. They're helpful.
Yeah.
Our teammates like support us a lot. They like if they're like hear a low alarm, they're like, Chance, are you okay? Jackson, are you okay? So they're like really helpful.
Yeah. That's awesome. And I think like, hearing your solution to that, which is talk to them, is the best solution. And again, from someone who's been dealing with type 1 diabetes for over 21 years, I found that's definitely been the best solution. It's have a conversation and educate them. There's a lot of power in you being able to share your own story and what does that mean. And it's tough, especially when there's a power dynamic of like a coach who's like technically in charge of you. And you're like, well, like, it's not that I'm being lazy. It's like my blood sugar is not good and my body's trying to shut down. I would just say to both of you, as you guys kind of learn to navigate this space and master it, education definitely needs to be a big piece of it for whoever is in your group.
Yeah.
What grades are you guys in?
I'm in 7th.
I'm in 6th.
Okay, sweet. So we're right in the throes of middle school. How's that been in a school setting as well?
It's like not all the teachers kind of understand like things. Like when I was in 4th grade, my teacher had diabetes, so she was like, she understood, and like the whole every day is like fine. I even with like a high or low, the teachers just know and they're helpful about it, and the principal helps about it and stuff. So.
And then for me, like my teachers are really understanding, like especially because Jackson's in a grade before me and he has like all my teachers now in middle school. It's easy. They know right away because we just tell them I have it too, and then they know because of Jackson's experience. So it's easier for me than it is for him.
Yeah, it's so interesting that you guys have that shared experience. Have there been any moments where the two of you have like either learned something from each other or have been able to support each other, whether it's in sports or diabetes or both?
Yeah, I hear his alarm. I'll go into his room and say, "Are you okay?" and stuff. And like,
Love that.
yeah.
Changing Omnipod, Jackson.
Oh yeah, I help Chance like with his Omnipod changes and stuff.
That's awesome. Do you guys do all that independently? Like you do that on your own?
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah. I distinctly remember there being a point when I went from like my parents would give me like the syringes to like, no, like I'm gonna do this now. And I remember feeling like that was a big moment. And it is. It truly is. I think it's an important lesson for anyone dealing with type 1 diabetes, the agency and ownership of it. I mean, you guys know this. Maybe you haven't had it for 21 years, but you've had it long enough to know that it's something that's there. And it's every day it's a battle and every day it's something different, but that doesn't mean you can't do something to manage it. So it sounds like you guys are doing a really good job of that and figuring it out as you go. And I would just say to anyone maybe who's listening to this, or maybe even for you guys, like most things in life, there's going to be days where like, man, my blood sugars are high, now they're low, and I'm feeling like crap today. And that's okay. Not every day is going to be a perfect day. We just got to strive for that a little bit more and more. And I think there's a lot of translation there, to sports, to life, right? Like every shot you take is not going to go in. Every ball you try to stop is not going to stop it from crossing over the line, but we always make an effort.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Guys, thank you so much for sharing your story. I want to shift now into what I call like our lightning round. So I'm just going to ask you guys some quick questions, and we're going to kind of rip through these. So don't think too much about it. Boys, ready?
Yep.
Okay. Game day superstition for pregame ritual. Ready, set, go.
For my ritual,
Yeah, either or.
I just pray in the goal and then I hit all the corners. I sometimes do what Blaze does.
The
Like-
little tap.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then what I do is before face off, I do this little skip thing where I like jump up and like tap my toes, and then I like get ready to go.
That's awesome. Okay, I love that. What is your go-to low snack?
My go-to low snack is probably like any kind of fruit snacks.
Welch's.
Yeah, Welch's,
Those
fruit
hit.
blocks, anything like
Nice.
that.
I like Skittles, like stuff like that. Candy a lot. Candy corn. I don't
Candy
know.
corn.
Yeah, candy corn.
Oh, that's an ice cold take. You like candy corn?
Kind of, yeah. It's like sugar plus wax.
That's amazing. Okay, one person who inspires you.
Kate Reese.
Brett Dobson.
Okay, good
Yeah.
call outs. Love that. All right. Well, we kind of talked about this one before, but if you could play any other sport, not lacrosse.
Volleyball.
Football.
Okay. All right. What position would you play in football?
Quarterback.
Okay, good answer. All right. And then what's one food that spikes you? So like,
Oh.
no matter what, when you eat it, your blood sugar is just gonna skyrocket.
Waffles.
I think donuts.
Yeah.
Is this from learned experiences?
Yeah.
Tic
Yeah, go
Tac.
on.
Oh,
Tic Tacs. They'll get your blood sugar?
Yeah. I don't know why.
How many are you eating the whole box?
Maybe.
That's amazing. Okay, couple more here. One emoji to describe your relationship with diabetes, and they can't be the same.
the cry face.
The cry face. Okay, with the tears coming down.
Yeah.
Okay,
Annoyed face, if that's a thing, because it's annoying.
you got to make it.
Um.
Let's see the annoyed face.
I don't know how.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Okay, and then I guess we'll kind of sign off here. But any words of advice or any of your thoughts to anyone else who's maybe going through what you guys are going through now? You know, it is really a unique experience to have type 1 diabetes, to live with it every day. But you guys are going beyond that. You're playing sports. You're being really competitive. You're pushing yourselves. That's hard to do. So I'd love to hear from you guys, maybe some lessons learned or some words of advice to someone else who's an athlete with diabetes.
I would just say keep pushing. It's diabetes isn't going to change you. You just have to work hard, and it's a part of you. So you just need to stay with it and learn from your mistakes. And then I would say to other kids sometimes, it doesn't stop you. You can keep chasing your dreams no matter what.
Awesome. What do you got, Jackson?
Yeah, just diabetes doesn't define you. You could do anything you put your heart to, no matter what.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome messaging. And you guys are really good shining examples of that. So no pressure, but if anyone wants a little inspiration, go check out the Highs and Lows Bros on Instagram. Guys, I love your content. I love hearing your story. So keep doing what you're doing. And like I said, even when those days aren't the best, just know that there's always gonna be an opportunity to make it a little bit better. So thank you so much. And thanks for joining us for another episode of our Type 1 Talks with the Callum and Jake Robinson Foundation, as we look to honor the memories of Callum Robinson as a Type 1 diabetic athlete. So thank you so much for being here, guys. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.